Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fantastic episode of The Left Wing. For now, I am TJ Whitehead, Powers Taken Ungiven, joined as always by John Cooper Paz of Counterpoint Politics. John, is my connection okay? I forgot to ask since I'm
no, it's so funny. Like you jumped into the waiting room, it was great, and now you're coming in a little sticky. So
oh
we'll
no.
we'll see how this goes. You are traveling again this week, correct?
Yep, it's gonna be busy time. Am I still choppy?
You're a little choppy, but I think we're
Is
going
the
to get
video
through it.
or the audio or both?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
Oh no, that's terrible. Oh, it's so
We'll,
good.
we'll get through it. It'll be what it is. I mean, that's what we got to do at this time, TJ. We just got to get through it, despite how terrifying and scary everything is. TJ, let me just give you, I want to paint a picture. I'm the past week, this is my first day back at my normal home. I've been living with my parents for the past week because my wife got surgery. They have more space. They're able to help her while she recovered, right? And as I'm doing this, the world around me is on fire. We obviously did our shows. We started the week off with Venezuela. We just maybe lost TJ, but I'm going to keep talking. We started the week off with Venezuela and people just being idiots about that. And then we have ICE just going full-blown Gestapo in Minnesota. They kill a protester. Every day since then, tensions have just continued to escalate. And then we look elsewhere, and oh, look at that. Iran is maybe going to have a revolution, maybe not. We might be getting involved with another nuclear superpower. It all sucks. It's all terrifying. And while all of this is going on, I'm sitting in the same home I grew up in, and it's this just jarring juxtaposition between realities. Now, TJ, your entire video is frozen, and I'm wondering if you can hear me right now. And you are not. So I'll just talk to the audience here. Hello, guys. Hope you're doing good. This is The Left Wing. TJ's video and audio is obviously having a struggle right now, and we'll wait for him to get on. But this is our Q&A episode. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let us know in the comments. We would love to answer them. And it looks like we just lost TJ. We'll wait for him to get back. But yeah, it has been wild. This has been one of the most utterly frustrating, just bewildering weeks I've ever had covering politics. It's unfathomable to have thought of even a year ago that this is where we would be sitting with literally masked agents masquerading through the streets, killing people. I mean, we had a clip today come out of just these ICE agents pulling this woman out of a car. And I'm sure we'll get to this when TJ gets back here. But they pull her out of a car. She is not protesting. She is not obstructing anyone. She is just trying to get to her doctor's appointment. And there we go. Hello, TJ. Welcome back.
Hey, sorry about that, John. I unplugged my laptop like a fucking rookie over here.
That it happens. I did that on a work call today, so it's better do it here, I guess. But I was just talking about. Did you see the clip of the woman who got pulled out of her car today at the middle of the intersection? That like she wasn't even protesting. She wasn't doing. She was trying to get to a doctor's appointment, and they just rip her out of her car and arrest her. Did you not see this clip?
No, I haven't seen it. No.
Oh my goodness. Well, do I have a treat for you? I'll just play this clip here because this one is just extra horrifying to me because it wasn't someone that was even protesting, not someone who was willingly in this situation. So I'll just put it up here and we'll watch the clip and we'll talk about it.
Hey, go back. Hey, back the fuck up.
What happened? I couldn't really follow that. They were surrounding the car, but who was the guy? John, are you there? Oh.
My police people are disabled, so I can go to the doctor up there. That's why I'm
Just make you feel strong. Yeah, man. This is your duty. Why don't you help that woman? Help that woman. Why don't you help someone? All you do is help. All you do is
Wow, no, I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, that is. This is a woman who is not involved in a protest. She's simply trying to get to her doctor's appointment. And all of the arguments you've seen over since the good shooting, I mean, honestly, forever now at this point.
Right, yeah.
It has been, oh, don't obstruct police and this won't happen to you. Don't fuck around, you won't find out, which is a terrible fucking argument. Let's be perfectly clear. But this is someone who isn't doing any of that. Someone who's doing what she's supposed to. She's just trying to get to her doctor's appointment. And she can't because there's this massive chaos in the streets because of ICE, because they're creating these environments. And then she's just trying to do a million people screaming all around her. She's been giving different directions. She's just trying to get to her doctor's appointment. And she's probably also scared for her life because she's driving a car around ICE agents who she just watched fucking murder someone. And this is what happens. This is now something that can happen. You can be driving to your doctor's appointment. You can be going to pick your kid up. And if you seem to be someone that ICE agents don't like, well, fuck, you are getting manhandled. You're getting ripped out of your car and you are being detained. And there's ain't nothing you can do about it. She did nothing wrong. Nothing. And this is where we are. And yeah. I just don't understand how people are looking at this. And I know a lot of people are like souring on this, like a lot of even Republicans, the opinion of ICE is declining, but not nearly fast enough, TJ. There's still way too many people supporting this for me to feel safe at all in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, the Republicans, they're the dog who caught the car, right? I think that if this had happened, I don't know, who knows? It's such a different situation than it was even a few years ago. But even if you're a reasonable Republican, to the extent that these people even exist, the tail that wags the dog, like the Trump folks and the fascists, they love it. They love it. It wouldn't matter to them that she wasn't breaking any laws or she was just on her way to her appointment.
We have a commenter right here. They said, just obey the law. Tell me what law she wasn't obeying. Like she was doing everything she was supposed to. This is the most clear-cut case I've ever seen. She's just trying to get to her doctor's appointment, people. She was doing nothing.
This is really weird. This commenter, his name is Brian Price. It caught me off guard because when I was working with, the rental assistance program, I worked with someone named Brianna Price, and I thought that was her name. I said, wow, really? Brianna Price is a fascist. She seemed like such a nice lady when I met her. But okay, Brian Price. But no, this is, the masks, man. I haven't gotten over that. I still have never gotten over the fact that they just wear these balaclavas and sunglasses and you can't tell who they are when they don't really need to. I don't really know why. I don't know if you saw that thing that apparently there was a leak about 4,500 names of ICE agents. And I said, I mean, they can drop the mask now. It's not going to matter. Right? Like, what is anyone going to do to them when they find out their names? Like, who cares? There's plenty of people who say worse shit all the time. I don't know. It's just odd.
It is odd. Like, I have actually been thinking of this too, TJ. At least like in the beginning, I kind of was like, oh, they don't want them to get doxxed and have problems in their personal life. And I understood ostensibly, or not even ostensibly, but literally why they were doing what they were doing with the masks. Now it doesn't make sense. Like, at this point, you know who the ICE agents are in your life. Like, if you have an ICE agent in your life, these guys, let me be clear, they don't seem like the kind to just hide their politics at the Thanksgiving table. Like they do not seem like that kind. I'm pretty sure everyone in their life already knows that they're ICE agents. So what are they trying to hide against, like getting hunted down? Like, is that
by whom?
By whom?
Yeah, no one's gonna be. I don't know. It's just so. I mean, cops have been hated for decades, centuries, whatever, and they got the balls to at least show their faces, right? They proudly would. Also, I don't like that they say it says police on their vests. It says police ICE. I don't think it should say police on there. Like, this is a very different. Or listen, you can hate cops for myriad of reasons, but ICE is a different animal entirely.
ICE is giving the police a bad name.
Right? No, really. Speaking of who was it? Was it who made the comment here about passive aggressive co-host trying to win an argument with his girlfriend? I assume he's talking to me, I'm guessing. But my girlfriend was saying something about she saw the police chief in Minneapolis saying how much he disagreed with the way ICE was doing this. And think of how chaotic it would be for you to be a cop in this situation where this federal agent of masked men who don't report to you, don't report to the mayor or the sheriff or anybody, are just going around shooting people, pulling people out of their cars, obstructing traffic and everything. It would make your job infinitely more complicated. And she's like, yeah, I can't believe I'm sympathetic to the cops here. Like, I am too. It's terrible.
And people are asking, so we have I'll leave my wife for a giraffe. And I'm really just putting this comment so I could say your name. Fantastic name. He said, did we even hear why the car was stopped? From her own account, she was trying to park and get to her doctor's appointment, which was right there. And she kept getting pulled along and stopped by the ICE officers, which makes sense. I would be very fucking tense in that situation, knowing that ICE officers just shot someone for driving their car too fast and too suddenly. So, like, I understand why she's being extremely cautious, stopping, and just trying to get to her doctor's appointment, which she probably needs to get to pretty damn quickly. I don't know. Like, the point here is, and the point that Republicans refuse to even talk about, like, we're so far past the point of reasonable discussion about this, but I'd like to talk to you about it for my own sanity, TJ.
Sure.
This is a situation created by ICE policy. They keep trying to do this thing where they're like, oh, guys, these protesters are making this job so hard on these poor agents who are just trying to enforce the law. And it's like, bitch, this is a result of your policy. This is a result of you making it so that these ICE agents are going into people's homes, going into places of worship, going to schools, going into places of employment, walking around on the streets, just looking for people to arrest for being undocumented citizens. That causes chaos. That causes panic. That causes anger. When you shoot someone and kill them, and without an investigation, immediately go in front of fucking live broadcast television and call that person a domestic terrorist without any evidence, people are going to get upset about that. When you're going around just ripping people out of cars for, and again, I cannot stress this enough, what is mostly minor fucking infractions of overstaying a visa or some shit, this is what happens. And even if you look at Jonathan Ross, how they said that he was being dragged by an illegal immigrant child rapist in his car, that's true. But if you look at what's happening in court, he literally lied under oath to the surprise of even the fucking government's own attorneys and probably ruined the case. And that child rapist is probably going to go free as a result of this shit ICE policy. So they're not doing what they're saying they're supposed to be doing. They're making life harder for everyone. They're causing this chaos and then blaming people for getting upset that they're going around to schools and places of employment and ripping people out of their cars and brutalizing them. We've seen multiple videos a day of this point of peaceful protesters doing nothing wrong, being shoved, taken down, and attacked by these agents. And the chaos that results causes people who are just trying to get to their doctor's appointment to not be able to park, and boom, now they're a victim of this. It just is insane, TJ. It is insane that I have to live in this country where people, it's sad that people want this to be the country. It's sad that I know people who are watching this and going, that's what I want to see in my streets. No, fuck that. No, like, that's wrong. It's just wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is, but we've known this is coming for a long time, that the mask has been off the hood has been on for quite some time now. It's not about winning anything of value and making life better. It's just punishing people you don't like. One guy though, John, who is having what 10th thoughts now is Joe Rogan, and I don't know if you saw him talking about ICE. I saw this clip earlier, but this is precious. I had to see this.
I guess yesterday or the day before. I mean, I think after that woman was shot, I think unfortunately, well, everything's unfortunate about it, right? But one of the real problems is now ICE are villains, and now people are looking at them like murderous military people that are on the streets of our city, and they're masked up, which is also a problem, right? Because if you get arrested by a cop, you're allowed to ask the cop, what is your name and badge number? And you could film that cop. If you get arrested by an ICE agent, you have no such right. They're wearing a mask. They don't have to tell you shit. That's a problem. That's a problem on our city streets, right? Because you could also pretend to be an ICE agent.
Right.
So I saw this terrible story about this family that was killed where these guys pretended to be a UPS driver, and they showed up and they made their way into the house and killed people because they were dressed up as a UPS driver. If you could pretend to be a UPS driver, for sure you could pretend to be an ICE agent, especially since they're completely anonymous. So think about how many people can get arrested or robbed or by criminals, right? Because you could just have people pretending they're like, it's not like it's impossible to fake their logo, right? It's pretty easy. Just says ICE. You know, how hard is that? You could easily imagine armed gangs pretending to be ICE agents robbing people.
John, we mentioned this on the show weeks ago or something, and of course Joe Rogan is just stumbling across it because he's not a bright guy. But this is something that if you intend to conduct a criminal action anytime in the near future, just go down to your local Army surplus store, buy some camouflage, get a flak jacket, put yellow ICE on there, sunglasses, balaclava. Just do it. Why not? Because look, I would think you were an ICE agent, right? It's not like these guys have badges or anything to identify themselves. They go out of their way to not do so. I don't know why every criminal in town doesn't just follow this recipe. It's guaranteed for success.
It's actually genuinely surprising to me, TJ, that
I'm shocked. Yeah, I've only seen one case of this.
ICE scams. I'm surprised we haven't seen a bunch of people dress up as ICE and like raid a place of employment like that has a lot of expensive shit they can just grab it and just go like that. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet, because why the fuck not? And honestly, TJ, there are people out there who I do genuinely believe didn't see this coming, didn't understand this would be the case if they voted for Trump, and I am more than willing to welcome them with open arms to the right side of history. Joe Rogan ain't one of those people, TJ. Joe Rogan, he's got a higher level of responsibility. Everything that he just said in that clip pissed me the fuck off, because it's what we've been saying since before the election. Donald Trump has been upfront about his desire to mass deportations of 100 million people by sending ICE agents out into the streets and doing exactly this. We have known this was the plan since before the election. And Joe Rogan got up on his podcast with millions and millions of people in his audience, interviewed Donald for hours, and said, you guys should vote for Donald Trump. And this is explicitly what Donald Trump was saying he was going to do. So, Joe, if you actually didn't understand that this is what would happen, you're a fucking idiot, and you do not deserve the platform you have, and you should stop talking about politics for the rest of your goddamn career, because it's fucking atrocious.
What do you think it is? Do you think he really is that stupid, or do you think that he's thinking this is looking pretty bad and maybe now I can still ride this wave, but a year or two from now when everyone turns on this, I don't want to be the guy who's late to the party? Like, which one do you think it is?
So, I mean, honestly, first of all, this is our Q&A show, so definitely drop questions in the comments. I would like to hear from our audience. Like, do you think Joe Rogan is just trying to save face and he knew about this the whole time, or do you think he genuinely did not know that this is what was going to happen? I would lean towards the latter, TJ. Like if you were to put the absolute truth around me, I'd say the most likely explanation is that he saw Trump and like being loud and rambunctious and saying all this wild shit, and he was expecting Trump term 1 part 2. Like he was expecting, oh, Donald Trump says wild shit. That's what we know him to do. But his first term as president was pretty damn normal. He's not going to do any of this crazy wild shit. That would be crazy. That wouldn't actually happen in America. And I think that that's kind of part of the belief system that keeps a lot of people locked into this, is that the belief that this can't happen in America is first and foremost. And so anything that negates that belief must be untrue. And I've been having some conversations with conservatives. We'll call them reasonable conservatives. I was having a conversation with one of my go-to conservatives that argue with me. And he does a really good job of research and logic, at least for a conservative.
Yeah.
And
Come on.
And I go to him, I talk to him, but specifically because I do kind of respect his opinion on things, at least the way he sees it. I want to learn. And he's anti-Trump, but pro-ICE somehow in this, or at least his opinion is that the ICE agent, like Jonathan Ross, was justified in self-defense, so we shouldn't be hating him, but we should be like criticizing the Trump administration for calling Good a terrorist and all of this. And I'm like, how do you not see that this was the express intent plan from the beginning? This has been so obvious. All of these things to watch play out. It's like watching an oncoming train. You've been known as coming for miles from our perspective. And for some reason, there's so many people who just don't seem to, like, they're making every excuse possible to avoid admitting, oh yeah, Donald Trump sat out with a fascist authoritarian agenda and he is enacting it. And they just don't believe that can happen in America. And so they won't believe it.
I would be more.
There are real fascists. Don't get me wrong.
No, yeah, you're right.
There are real fascists. I'm not saying there aren't. I'm saying that's
Right,
a lot
right.
of people I feel like are locked into that mindset.
I would be more willing to believe Joe Rogan or your friend or any other conservative or Trump supporter out there was like, I give them a pass for 2016, a pass or whatever, but I don't see how that can be true after January 6th. I don't see how that can be true. Especially since like after January 6th, what's really surreal, if you guys want to feel like you're in a Twilight Zone, go look up clips from January 7th, 8th, and 9th after January 6th. Look up what Fox News reporters said. Look up what every Republican in Congress and the Senate said. Every Republican governor, every conservative of note you could find for 3 or 4 days had the same fucking message. They said, this was awful. This is the election of the president of the United States. We have our political disagreements, but we all have to honor this system. Otherwise, we have chaos, and the people that stormed the Capitol should be punished to the full extent of the law. I don't care what their party is. And then a week later, they found out that all the Republican voters loved it. They thought it was because they love Trump and they suck his dick. And so they turned on a dime. Now you can't find one who thinks January 6th was an actual mob insurrection, or that Trump literally literally was caught faking electoral ballots trying to get elected in office. After that happened, I don't see why I should trust anyone who thinks, well, Trump really isn't going to do anything like that. He's just a goofy guy. No, you've seen what he's capable of.
Yeah, like again, I will welcome normal people who weren't paying attention with open arms and say, welcome to the resistance, motherfucker. Here's what you need to do to rehabilitate yourself. Joe Rogan just ain't one of them. Like Joe Rogan's got to do a hell of a lot more because he did a hell of a lot of damage. And if I'm gonna like pretend, if I'm gonna even be charitable to him, he's got to do a hell of a lot more than be like, oh guys,
No,
this is bad. We shouldn't have this. Like, no, Joe, you should have known that this was coming. I wanted to address a couple of the comments here. First of all, absolutely love Big Rich Chaz 997. Do you lose or support Hamas? Do you support the Islamic Iranian regime? I'll wait.
What?
What? But we haven't talked a single thing. Like we've been talking like
weird.
anti-ICE, anti-Trump. Now, our position is one that we get this comment a lot, but I was very surprised to see it on this particular stream so far because we've been basically normie libs up to this point, DJ. Like this has
You're
been the
right.
most
You're right. This
normie
is
lib
the
conversation that we've ever had.
That's true. That's true.
By the way, we do condemn Hamas. We do condemn the Islamic Iranian regime. But real quick, TJ, have you been following Iran at all?
Oh God, I've seen clips here and there and stuff, but no, I would not feel comfortable giving a breakdown of what's happening in Iran the last few days. No.
That's okay. I'm not a Iran source either, but it is. I suggest looking into it because it is quite important and big. And I would actually go as far as to say, and I hate that Donald Trump would be doing this, and I am such a military non-interventionist, but is one of those times where maybe you support the military intervention. It's like one of those cases.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, it's getting. They're just gunning down. They're mowing down crowds of protesters, hundreds and thousands. It's really
Trump
really
is
bad.
jealous. Trump says, "Why does the Ayatollah get to do all this stuff and not me?" That's so Trump.
I know, right? Like it's just what like again. It's like, and a part of me is like, "Fuck me." And the thing is, in Iran's currency, by the way, it hit $0. If you look at the exchange rate, it is like infinite of their currency. I forget what it is equal to $1. Now it's actually like 0.000 something, but it's so far that like currency trackers don't even like calculate it anymore.
Oh damn!
And that's the reason why you're seeing this in Iran, and why you won't see anything like it in America, at least unless things go really, really badly. Is that we got it too good here? Like no matter what, we got it too good here in the United States of America to have some sort of large scale revolution. It's just our economy. It can fuck up. It can falter. We can go through a recession. We got too much to lose.
We do, and what we have to lose are our goodies. We don't want to lose our Amazon Prime and our snacky snacks and our Jack in the Box. We love that stuff. Like I hate to be glib or cliche, but it's literal bread and circuses. And I don't think it's some sort of plan from the government to keep us docile. I think that's we have a commodified economy and like our service and pleasure economy. And as long as you can distract yourself with watching movies, listening to music, doing something like this, I don't think people are gonna think that an armed revolution is going to be an option for them. And I wanted to get this comment here before I forget about it. But some absolute cretin commented January 6th after FBI agents led the riot. This is what makes this job so hard. That you try to present facts here, and then, and to be fair, the president of the United States tweeted out that, what did he say? There were 74 FBI agents at the Capitol, or 270. I can't remember how many agents he said, but he said there were all these agents at the Capitol, and everyone ran with it. And Trump said, "Look at that! I knew it. The FBI orchestrated this whole thing." And he posted a link to his source, and his source stated that the FBI sent dozens of agents there the day after the riots to go over. And it's like, but it doesn't matter that that's what happened. It just matters that he tricked this absolute moron, a few months ago, and now he's here in our comment section for some reason, parroting the same point.
And even if TJ, like, even if there were dozens of FBI agents leading this insurrection, wouldn't matter if you're following ICE use of force procedures, apparently, because according to Kristi Noem, those ICE agents were following their training when they fired because they felt their life was threatened and therefore were authorized to use lethal force. It doesn't really matter what the situational context was. And if you apply that to the Capitol Police, there would have been a fucking bloody massacre of hundreds of people at minimum, because they were all clear. Like I would have been scared for my life. We would have all been more reasonably scared for our lives than fucking Jonathan Ross was when he had a car bump him at 4 miles an hour. So it really doesn't matter if the FBI was leading at this point, because all of those people should be dead, according to MAGA. Except also they weren't. Except also Ashley Babbitt, who was actively breaking into the Chamber of Congress and being told to stop or they will shoot. She just kept doing it and they shot. And that was the police unfairly executing a peaceful protester, according to the official White House website as we speak. But fucking Rachel Good was a domestic terrorist for trying to flee when masked men tried to grab her out of her car. I just
it's just
I don't know what to say to people anymore.
Yeah, I don't either, except that I think we talked about this a little while ago. I think by now the moderate position for any standard Democrat would have to be to abolish ICE, right?
That's the moderate position.
It has to be. It has. I can't. I can't think of. I mean, I haven't heard anyone say it like recently. But if you're a Democrat, if the Democrats win in 2028, and that's a huge if the Democrats win in 2028, and whoever wins says, no, I think ICE is very important for national security. We need. It's over. It's done. I don't think anyone's going to vote for them ever because they have no spine. That say what you want about Donald Trump, but he gets shit. He does shit. Maybe he doesn't get shit done, but he does shit. And this is why ICE is so valuable to Trump, because it makes the right people angry and it punishes a few minorities and immigrants while they're at it. And this doesn't do anything to help Donald Trump, really. Honestly, it doesn't, except that it makes him more popular with his base because he has a support of villainous cretins all across the country.
It's ridiculous. Oh God! Thank you for those who are in our comment section, just commenting how much
we love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we do love you guys. Saying Ashley Babbitt wasn't warned. We watched the video. I don't even.
She wasn't what?
She wasn't warned, bro. She's breaking into Congress.
Yeah,
she had
the barricade. The barricade was always there. The makeshift barricade.
Was Rachel Good warned? Was Rachel Good warned? Tell me, or not Rachel, Renee Good. Sorry, was Renee Good, Nicole Good warned? Was she warned? No, she wasn't. Go fuck yourself. Anyway, TJ. By the way, this is our question and answer. So if you have
a lot of comments here, we could answer.
We would love to hear them. Definitely a lot of comments. A lot of people I deem to be bots.
I know it is kind of fun. Someone commented here that we have TDS, and I don't know if I mentioned this to you before, John, but TDS really bothers me for two reasons. The first is that if anyone has Trump derangement syndrome, it's conservatives, right? They are absolutely deranged. I've never seen any group of people as in love with any politician as I do with conservatives and Trump. And the second is I remember Bush. I'm old enough to remember Bush derangement syndrome. Like back in the early 2000s, that's what every fucking Republican said, that you guys have Bush derangement syndrome, like Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh. They said it all the time. And now it's like, wow, they're just digging up the old hits. And it wasn't that great to begin with. So, and of course, these people who were saying it weren't paying attention back then. They didn't care. But, Trump is the TV guy and they love him now. It's like, oh, yeah, that's what I'm dealing with.
And if you ask them now, they'll say, oh, fuck Bush. We shouldn't have invaded Iraq. The same fucking people who are saying, oh, the liberals who are against the Iraq war, they just got Bush derangement syndrome. They would now criticize the invasion of Iraq because they don't actually have any consistent morals. One comment I wanted to put up here. Italian 16 says, weak men hate the police, especially ICE. They are everything they are not. Italian, I agree with you. I am everything that ICE is not. And I am very proud of that statement. So keep bringing those compliments, guys. We really love them.
Yeah.
Colby says, if the next Dem president doesn't fix immigration, any abolishment or prosecution of ICE will be completely meaningless. Yeah, I think that's actually a really good point from Colby. Like, it can't just be abolish and prosecute ICE. There needs to be a Democratic plan on immigration that's better than the Kamala Harris's. Well, we'll do what the Republicans want, only less than what they wanted. Like, there has to be a legit plan. In a similar way to how the Republicans don't actually have any plan for healthcare, Democrats don't have a plan for immigration.
That's a good point.
It's really sad at this point. Like, it's really sad.
I'll go a step further. And John, what is it? It's been 33 and a half minutes before we bash the Democrats, but it finally happened. But we make fun of the Republicans for not having a plan for healthcare. The Democrats don't either. This is like something that's always cracked me up, that like mainstream news now and people, they all say the same thing, that Trump has been saying, I'll have a healthcare plan for you in 2 weeks, and then he doesn't bring anything. And the Republicans want to repeal Obamacare, but they don't have anything to replace it. But I don't hear anyone saying, well, Democrats, what's your plan? Keep Obamacare that nobody likes? I mean, sure.
Well, I mean, that is the plan. The Democratic Party wants to keep, but at least also in the Democratic Party, you have universal, you have medical. Like, there are multiple plans in the Democratic Party where you can point to it and be like, that's a plan. The Republicans have nothing. They have nothing you can point your finger at and say, that's a plan for healthcare. They don't have one. And that's what the Democrats have for immigration. I have seen zero enunciated plans of this is what we want to do with immigration. No fucking clue what genuinely any Democrat wants to do with immigration. I don't even see a sort of progressive option for immigration being championed by anyone. It's just kind of, well, we don't like what's going on here. And if you take that into 2028, you'll probably win in 2028, but you lose in 2032, people. You need something.
I got a comment here from, what's this? Everin4876 just subbed you guys. Glad I found you. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. And we're here every Tuesday and Thursday at 6:35. So would love to see you again sometime.
Yeah. It's I don't know, like the future of politics just looks bleak to me. I have a hard time thinking of a way this could turn out well, one way or the other. So John, like, what's the best case scenario here, do you think?
The best case scenario where? Like you got to give me an end. Like the best case scenario for
after 2028, like 2028, what happens? So let's say,
I can give you a glowing best case scenario.
Oh, let's say, I'd love to hear it.
You want some hopium? You want some hopium?
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
TJ, the Eagles just got eliminated from the playoffs. All I got is hopium. The TJ. It's not actually that complicated. The silver lining here is that we continue to get worse and worse and worse. In fact, we get worse in really, really bad ways. We have at least 2008 level recession. We get involved in a war, maybe in the Middle East, maybe with South America. I don't fucking know. It could be anyone. We might not even have who we will be at war with in 2028 on our fucking bingo card right now. Because who fucking knows? I didn't have invade Greenland either, right? So let's say there's a war going on, massive economic collapse, and utter chaos. And you get the right guy. You get a Mamdani that comes out of nowhere. Let's remind everyone that a year before the Democratic primary for the mayor of New York City, no one knew who fucking Zoran Mamdani was. No one knew who he was. He was a random fucking council member, and he, within a year, did everything that he did. We could have that on a national level. And if things get bad enough, he could get a pretty solid she could get a pretty solid coalition behind him. Someone who's going to implement radical change in the right direction that Donald Trump has initiated in the wrong direction. And people say that it's easier to break things than it is to put them back together again. And that is true. But the very nice thing about a good deal of progressive policies is that they're basically impossible to get rid of once they're implemented. Like, that's one criticism that conservatives have of universal healthcare. That is 100% true. Once you have it, you can't get rid of it. It's very fucking difficult. And just fucking do it. And you just do it in the same way that Donald Trump is showing that we can just do things. You can do the same thing in the opposite direction. And if things get bad enough, and honestly, we might even be there right now, TJ, if the right person comes along and galvanates the right people. And I'm talking Bernie Sanders galvanization with someone who is far younger, far more charismatic, and far more politically savvy than Bernie Sanders is. You know, combine Bernie's fucking policy with Obama. That's the silver lining here, TJ. That is the total copium. Let's hope that this amazing future gets fulfilled in the next 8 years plan. Like, that is the best case scenario. Am I very much exaggerating on the potential for that to happen? Yes, I am. But you asked the question. What is the best case scenario? That is the best case scenario. I do the worst case scenario.
Well, I mean, we can do that, but I just want to address the best case scenario. I don't see that. Listen, even if that does happen, and that is a like, fine, shoot for the stars and you'll still land the moon or whatever. But there's a lot of things that I used to say over the years that I was like, oh, actually, I was wrong about that. I gotta stop saying it. And one of them is what you just mentioned, that universal. Or, you know, what not universal? Did you say universal program or progressive programs? Like progressive.
There's a lot of progressive programs that are incredibly difficult to stop, like universal care, like universal pre-K, things like this that we can just pretty easily accomplish if we get, you know, full control. And we'll see.
I don't believe that anymore. I don't believe it at all. And you know what killed it? the child tax credit. We had like the child tax credit. Like I can't. It's hard to imagine a more bulletproof proposition that, oh, if you have kids, we'll give you money. And you're like, oh, the Republicans, they're always saying people need to have kids. Do we want to support moms or not? And like, no, fuck them. We're taking the money away. Or free lunch for children at school. No, take it away too. And Social Security. Every day, more and more Republicans like, yeah, we think Social Security go away. I don't believe that. I think that if we did get this stuff, through, I have no confidence at all that the American people will be like, this is great. I'm glad we did this. We're not going to become racist and fascist and take it all away. I think that is more likely than our dream, that if people only had the economic security and the peace that we all wanted, they're going to want to keep it. I don't think they actually would.
Well, TJ, that moves us to our next outcome. I'm going to call this the most likely outcome. It is the most depressing, it might not be the most depressing, but it is the most depressing because it is the most likely to be true. We don't recover from this. We try to go back to normal, and we, for the next couple decades, do this pitter-patter back and forth of going from normal to extreme to normal to extreme, not really moving in any direction and staying put and continuing to decline as a country, while China, while South Korea, while all of these
South
other
Korea.
What was that?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just thinking of countries that are kind of on the up and up. I might be wrong about South Korea.
China, yes, yeah.
Like China's just going to take our spot, and we are going to become the old China. We're going to become the China of like 2010, where it's like, oh, we have a sizable economy, we can still move around. We have the military is the whole other fucking thing that but like we just kind of pitter patter. We become the UK. We follow the UK path of we were the world's greatest superpower, and now we're still relevant, but like we don't really make shit move. That's the most likely end outcome of all of this, is just we deteriorate ourselves into irrelevance.
John, I think that is the best case scenario. I think the best case scenario is the United States being knocked off the top spot, and that we are forced to deal with it. And I think you're right that is pretty likely, because think of like every foreign nation right now has learned that we are not to be trusted, that they cannot take us seriously. We can put someone like Donald Trump in office twice, who besides being an insane maniac and bombing nations, kidnapping their leaders, refusing to say that I won't send the military to Denmark to take Greenland and stuff like that. I mean, even if it's just, you don't want to deal with someone who's that unstable. Yeah. You know who seems stable? Xi Jinping. I mean, when is the last time China has gone out and started a war 10,000 miles away? It doesn't happen. And this isn't to say that there aren't human rights violations in China like there are in every major world power thing. I got that.
The United States.
Including the United States, yeah. But if it's like what was it? I forgot. It was like some African minister said that when the Americans come, they bring handcuffs and lectures or whatever. But when the Chinese come, they bring libraries and schools. We are very quickly losing our, I don't want to say moral authority. That's not what I mean, but our gravitas, our seriousness. Like people,
the assumption that we will always be there and always be the world power and always have the world reserve currency, the just assumption that America is this place of stability at which the rest of the world pivots around will be gone. It'll be gone, and the people who have lived for generations just assuming that to be true, they're going to be in for I'm one of them, are going to be in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, I agree. I just I think that the worst case scenario would be like a collapse of the United States. I don't think it's going to get that way. I don't think it's going to get that bad. I saw something. This actually affects me, but I've seen several Republican influencers and people saying that they want to go after VA benefits now. They says, you know what, these guys with their VA disability, what are they doing? They're sitting at home, not working. They're collecting free checks and they're walking. I see them. I saw one of them jogging the other day, and they're just getting billions of dollars. That would have been like political suicide a few years ago. But now you've probably seen it too, that they should take away veterans benefits, right? This is I don't know. There's only so much money you can pilfer from people, and there's only so much that you can keep. I think all 50 states have legalized sports gambling and stuff now. I don't know, John. I think that the collapse of the economy is a very real possibility in the near future.
I think so. Here's the thing, TJ. The collapse of the economy, like what do you mean by that? Because Iran's economy just collapsed. Their currency hit zero value. Mm-hmm. Venezuela's economy collapsed. I don't think that's in the cards.
No, like worse than 2008 style collapse.
Like the Great Depression style.
Like Great Depression level collapse. Yeah, I mean, that seems, honestly, I don't want to say likely, but certainly possible. Would it really shock you? It wouldn't shock me at all.
I think there's just too much money right now. Like there needs to be like a either prolonged period of depression or multiple system shocks all at the same time for that to happen, just because so much of the value in the world is tied up in the US dollar. If the US dollar actually collapses like it did during the Great Depression, the US isn't the only ones collapsing. Everyone is collapsing. And in that situation, we start to open up the real worst case scenario bucket of World War III, because in that scenario, everything is destabilized. There's a lot of fucking countries with nuclear fucking capabilities right now that are, I'm not going to say close to collapse or anything, but if that thing were to happen, yeah, we would, like, Iran is a nuclear power that is collapsing as we speak. There's more, like, fucking Pakistan. They're not fucking surviving that, right? Like, it's going to get really bad.
I can't believe Pakistan is still around. I cannot believe Pakistan has survived this long. I really can't.
Pakistan.
Colby brought up a good point. The U.S. economy collapses when Powell was replaced. We've still got some time left. This is John. Do you think the president of the United States threatening the chief of the head of the Federal Reserve with a criminal investigation out of fucking nowhere, maybe that's a sign of that? Also, I know we talked about this on the show, that 100 years from now, people are going to hear the term trumped up charges, and like trumped up being synonymous with bullshit. They're never going to believe that predated President Donald Trump. They will never believe that. They will be shocked. There'll be some tidbit on some, some variety channel or something like that. But yeah, when I saw that, was it yesterday, the day before? It was another time. This is why I'm so worried, because I don't like Mad Men. We got to reference Mad Men once every show from now on. But when Sterling Cooper, when they buy themselves out of the company, or they got to fire a bunch of people, and Don asked Roger and Bert, he says, "Is that the last person we're firing today? I don't like how I'm getting used to doing this. I don't like how I'm getting used to seeing like what would have shattered my brain 5 years ago or 10 years ago on the news, where Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, makes like this hostage video saying, I am being charged, but I have served 4 presidential administrations, and this president is just mad at me for not doing what he wants." I should be way more scared of that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is very scary. I don't like to think about it. Like, if you were to show these images to even the Trump voters, like right now, 10 years ago,
yes,
they would be like, "Holy hell, we're recanting everything." But now that they're buying it, they're eating it. It's really scary. Before I want to address a comment real quick. I want to address 2 comments actually from the same guy. Okay. One, I'll leave my wife for a giraffe. Again, fantastic name. He said this now multiple times. John Cooper Paz. Is my name appearing differently somewhere, somehow? Like, I'm very confused to why he's saying this.
Yeah, he said that twice. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that on my screen. So I really am just curious, Mr. Giraffe, where you're getting that from. I would love to know. Second of all, he asked, have you ever invited Jessica Burbank on the show? Funny story, our old version of this show did invite Jessica Burbank on this show, and she was going to be on, and then it never happened. Have you ever seen Jessica Burbank?
I'm not familiar with her.
She's one of my favorite TikTokers. She does a really good job. I believe she's, I don't know what her exact credentials are, but she's like a fucking econ major. Like, she does like macroeconomics for a living, and she does really fucking good breakdowns of shit. Like, I'm really impressed with her. And she's pretty attractive in my opinion too.
Oh, John, you're a married man. Oh,
I am
okay.
a married man, but my wife agrees.
You're married, not dead. But I was gonna say we haven't talked about your title. What's going on with Pete Hegseth?
Oh, Pete Hegseth. Have you not seen this?
I don't think so.
So this is funny. So what's going on with Pete Hegseth? This has been one of those weeks where it's just like so much shit is happening and accelerating so quickly. So many things are just getting left through the cracks. It's just a play on Drake, May. You haven't seen that meme. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of embarrassed because I should have, I think, but
you should be the encyclopedia of Drake memes.
yeah, no, it's different Drake, bro. That's the white Drake.
Who's Drake May? I don't know who Drake. Oh, Jesus, I'm over 2 now. I don't know who Drake May is either. But all right,
Drake May is the quarterback of the New England Patriots. Anyway, so I'll just read this. I'm going to share it. I'm just going to read it for the sake of reading it. But okay, so this is being reported. I believe it was the New York Times. Yeah, the New York Times. But I'm reading from The Guardian. The U.S. aircraft that carried out the first airstrike on a suspected drug trafficking boat in the Caribbean was reportedly disguised as a civilian plane, a possible war crime. The New York Times reported the aircraft had been painted to obscure its military identity, and its munitions were hitting inside its fuselage rather than visible under the wings. TJ, as a military veteran, do you know what the name for that war crime is?
Which, disguising who you are?
As a civilian and doing a military attack.
I know the name. No, I know the name.
It's called perfidy. This is not a thing that I knew was a thing before, but it is called perfidy. Perfidy. And it is understandably a war crime for obvious reasons. I'm surprised it doesn't have a Trojan horse style name. But yeah, it is now the second war crime that has been reported by very, very good sources that Pete Hegseth has committed. And you didn't even hear about it, TJ. You cover politics.
No,
not as a profession, but as a very, very time-consuming hobby. You have a podcast. You have you have all these platforms, and you hadn't even heard that the U.S. The New York Times reported that the U.S. committed a war crime for the second time in like a 3-month span. That is how crazy shit is right now. Like that's why I put it as the title, because I thought people would be like, "Oh, that happened." Yeah, it did fucking happen, and no one heard about it because of all the crazy wild shit going on.
Yeah, I gotta say, the war crimes are less impressive now than they used to be. I miss my father's war crimes. You know, like those, we really used to get it done back in the day, but now Pete,
the banana wars, they were way more impressive.
Installing Banana Republic, the Indian Wars, lying about the Gulf of Tonkin and stuff, 9/11. But I mean, listen, we really had a good track record here, but now it's kind of, I will say, I have to admit, the Maduro thing is kind of cool. It's kind of cool that they actually pulled that off. I have to admit that's like the only thing that they've done that's pretty impressive. But
what's kind of cool?
Capturing Maduro.
The Maduro thing, yeah.
That's like video game shit, man. It's like video game shit.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and my knee-jerk reaction to assuming that was a conspiracy theory, that it was some sort of deal made behind closed doors, like my knee-jerk reaction is no. Like, we should just assume that what we're seeing is the truth. But it's just the only thing that has gone well. It's the only thing that the Trump administration has done that has seemed really buttoned up, and everything must have gone right for this to occur in this exact sequence of events. They can't fucking wipe their ass without fucking, adding a fucking reporter to a Signal group chat. Like, it's incredible that actually happened.
This is the same administration that has deported multiple people incorrectly, right? And had to bring them back. I'm actually shocked they brought them back. I'm amazed that they actually did end up coming back months and months later. But can you think of another example of someone is like, nope, we rounded these people up, kicked them out, no trial, no nothing. It's like, no, this is not a well-oiled machine. So, I mean, these people going in and extracting a foreign president, that's incredible. But I am 50-50 on it, John. I am like the least conspiracy guy out there, but this one is just too weird. It's too weird, but if I had to bet, I would bet conspiracy. That is how. Go ahead.
the fact that his regime is still in power is what makes me really buy the conspiracy here. The fact that we have actually like fully committed to regime change before, and it has never worked. And we didn't change the regime this time, right? But like, there's no actual good reason to remove Maduro and allow his regime to stay in power. Like, there's just no benefit to that. I don't understand. Like, I understand we're like stealing oil from them, but like
even that doesn't hold up. Like when you heard like the Exxon people, it's like, actually, no, we can't do it.
They don't want to go in. They're like, oh, fuck me. We don't want this Banana Republic shit. We had a good thing going, bro. We had a good thing going.
It was so funny in several ways. First, you wake up. I woke up like Sunday morning. I woke up and saw pictures of Maduro in handcuffs. Like, what is happening? And then Donald Trump comes on TV and says, like, before anyone could say he's doing this for the oil, Trump says, folks, I'm doing it for the oil. And it's like, that's new. That's the first. And then the oil men say, yeah, we don't want it. Actually, he just kind of did this and that. This is one thing that I do love about Trump. There are a lot of things I love about Donald Trump. I mean, this has been one hell of a show. It's been tragic, but entertaining. It had also, but I love that he puts Republicans, like the people who I despise the most, in these most awkward positions on a daily basis where they have to defend what he says. And when he says we're going to run Venezuela, Marco Rubio is going to run Venezuela. Marco Rubio, okay, he didn't really mean that. Donald Trump tweeted out a Wikipedia like screenshot that had been, you saw that?
It wasn't president. It was something of Venezuela.
I thought it said acting president.
President of Venezuela. That's it. Yep.
Of Venezuela. And then I don't know if you saw this one. I meant to talk about this on the show. I'll have to wait till next Tuesday. Going to be here Thursday. But Trump went on TV and he said that I think it is bullshit that also the president says bullshit now. This is fun. I think it is bullshit that credit card companies can charge 25-30% interest on people. I think that credit card companies should be capped at 10%. And a lot of people mentioned that Bernie Sanders had a similar, plan a long time ago. And when I was working at the Indiana General Assembly, I remember like my organization, we were pushing for capping not credit card companies, but like payday loan places, capping them at like 10 or 15% because they can charge you 300, 400, 500% sometimes. And all the demons on the Republican side said, no, this is very important. We need to, this is a vital part of the community, these bloodsuckers. And I wanted to see what the Republicans would do. And what was his name? Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson said, well, I don't think the president has looked into this too much because if we cap what the credit card companies can charge, they're not going to lend anybody any money. I think the president's wrong with this. I was kind of amazed that he didn't, because usually they say, well, the president's on it. We're going to do our best to figure it out. But no, he's like, no, don't challenge our actual masters at the credit card company, Mr. President. That's going to really rock the boat here.
That's wild. It's also one of those things where I'm just like, I kind of buy the conservative argument on that one. Of you can't have private credit card companies if they aren't able to charge 30% interest.
That's so sad, isn't it? I mean, cry me a fucking river.
It's why credit cards should be publicly run utilities.
It's like everything that they say is like, yeah, okay, then we have a solve for this, right? This is not a checkmate. That this predatory, blood-sucking, vampiric system that we have, it has to exist. We can't imagine any world where this is different. How dare you take this away from us? It's like, God, it's like they're not just dumb, they lack imagination. It's insulting.
Yeah, they lack imagination. Before we go, I had to say one more thing. So Colby said, guys, please check out the front page of TMZ if you want to see a great Trump clip. Do you know what he's talking about?
No.
All right, let's do a little screen share here. All right, here we go. Very excited to share this one. I actually haven't heard the audio on this one. I just saw the clip, but I know what he is talking about here. So,
this. So I think if I remember, I saw this clip. And he said that you're a pedo protector or something, and then
Yep.
Trump flipped him off. Is that
And
what
then he
happened?
flipped them off. Yep. And I'm hearing people say that he mouthed like "fuck you" or something. I didn't see that in the clip, so whatever. But he clearly flipped him off. It's like,
Well, I don't know.
it's funny. People are like it's, I don't know. That's one, like, Trump does like weird shit like that all the time. I don't know why that's like, I know TMZ is like TMZ and stuff, but like no one's gonna give a shit.
It's like Trump has done a lot wilder and crazier stuff than that. Everything. Is this? Oh God, who's KM1? Do we? I don't know. Is this Kyle? I don't know. But my credit union.
Kyle,
Okay, my credit union charges less than 20%. Yeah, so there are plenty that do, but they can go higher. Like, there are a lot of people, like high risk folks, that it's predatory lending. They lend, oh yeah, do this, and we'll charge you a whole bunch on the back end. And what we were capping off, I mentioned it, in the military. If you're an active duty military, like a credit lending organization can only charge you so much money, like for like a payday loan place. At least there's a cap. I think it's at like 6%. They can't go any higher than that. And like if you get a car loan, if you get a car loan or a credit card or something like that, it's different. But if you go
mortgages that are higher than 6, TJ.
Yeah, and so it's there's a limit to how high it can go. And so we weren't asking for that. We were asking for like 18 or something like that. But it was like, well, if the government realizes that, hey, our soldiers being in ruinous debt is bad for them, maybe we should just apply that to everybody. What makes soldiers so different than everybody else? And that was our argument. It didn't work because Indiana is a nightmare state, but whatever.
It's a good point, TJ. As we wrap up here, I just want to say all of those, and this is one of those positions of mine that, like, I don't understand why there isn't more support for. Any financial instrument should be state run. It should not be for profit. There is no value derived from the profit motive for financial instruments. Makes no sense why we have a for-profit banking system. Makes no sense why we have for-profit insurance system. It makes no sense because profits are, by necessity, extra money that you are paying above the cost of what the service takes to produce. So why, in a environment where you don't have innovation, I can buy the argument for why you might want private medical research. I can buy the argument for why you might want private of a bunch of different types of industries. An industry where innovation can only exist to create more profit for the shareholders and doesn't benefit the consumer at all, that can be government run, my dude. Like I don't understand why we can put a man on the moon. You don't think we can fucking run credit cards, bro?
Yeah. But the people who run it, can always donate money. But you know how that goes and everything. But no, it's so weird having people defend like the aristocrats like this, like the modern day aristocracy. Like, oh no, it's like the peasants, like when the peasants revolt in the 1300s. And if you ever read what they said the king just doesn't know how badly the duke is treating us. If only we could get to the king, he could see our plight. That's how they're seeing this. They just I don't understand. And it's funny what you were saying, like the most common sense thing that someone would write, like, fuck off, commie piece of shit. Yeah, because I know, right? It's just like, why do we even bother?
People, the children yearn for the monarchy, TJ. They yearn for it.
One more thing, like last year or the year before, it was like Ohio and Florida and I think one other state, and they were bringing back child labor. They were rolling back child labor laws. Saying, well, yeah, the laws, like, you could, if you were 14 years old and younger, you couldn't work till 8 p.m. on a school night. You weren't allowed to work in demolition jobs or stuff like that. And Republicans says, this is taking money away from families. This is ruining the work ethic of kids. And people I knew, like people I've known for decades, said they're right. I worked when I was a kid. I think everybody should. It's like, once again, not convinced that people actually like good things.
All right. Well, that is our show for today. Make sure to like this, subscribe to The Left Wing. While it is still called The Left Wing. Hint, hint at future changes coming around the corner. TJ will not be here on Thursday. He will be replaced by good friend of the show, Natalie Bensavenga.
The great replacement.
So be here on 6:35 to get your Pennsylvania hosted Left Wing podcast. Until then, TJ, any last words?
Nope. I'll catch you guys later. Catch the Pennsylvania pod on Thursday. Bye. Heather told